YouTube. What's good with it, man? It's your boy Neo Cannabis, and I'm back with another video. So today I wanted to speak about why getting into the cannabis delivery service sector is gonna be your easiest way to just get into the cannabis industry. I've been seeing and hearing about a lot of people, trying to start getting into the industry, and they'll often say, oh, I want a storefront, or I want to do manufacturing, or I want to do cultivation. But not to hurt anybody's feelings or burst anybody's bubble, if you don't already know about manufacturing or cultivation, or if you already don't know those processes, your chances of succeeding in those businesses are really small, or really 0%, because you have to think about it that you're competing with people who've been in the black market or even in the legal side of things. They've been doing it for 10, 20, 30 plus years. If you know nothing about those industries, like cultivation, manufacturing, even distribution, which is it has to deal with a lot of logistics and pumping out a lot of volume and things of that sort, the chances of you succeeding are really minimal. So the reason I suggest getting into the cannabis delivery service is because you'll get to interact with all of those other business sectors, and additionally, the cost for entry is going to be the lowest out of anything else. I mean, if you're looking for thinking about cultivation, it's at least at minimum $1 million, if not more, just to get started. That's before you even make any money. And don't let you have a bad harvest or something like that, where your stuff, it doesn't turn out good, or it got destroyed by insects or fungus or whatever. Then you're already down. You lost out on a whole harvest. The electricity bills, all the nutrients and all that, that's super expensive. All the workers that you have to pay to trim and everything like that, depending on the size of your cultivation, you can't afford those losses. And yeah, you're gonna already be competing with the big guys who've already been established in the game, and they have cultivators and staffs of 20 to 30 to 40 people, and cultivators, master growers who've been growing for 20, 30 years plus in a variety of different situations. It's just not a smart thing to be like, hey, I want to get into the cannabis industry, and you're just gonna start at the cultivation level, or manufacturing, or testing. All those cost upwards of $250,000 to $1 million plus. Manufacturing, all the equipment that you have to buy to process and refine the oils and things of that sort. It's basically like you have to have a laboratory. So all that equipment is not cheap. It's extremely expensive. If you have a lab which is testing the product, all that, you have to have like doctorate degrees and things of that sort. And with the actual cannabis storefront dispensary, the downsides are that it's really high cost to run it, because you have to pay for insurance, there's a bunch of liabilities that come with it. You're only subject to getting customers within a 15 to 30 mile radius. Unlike a delivery service, for me in California, I can deliver to anywhere in the state of California. I'm not limited. With an actual storefront, you're basically stuck there. So your actual limitations of getting customers are capped. And then, there's really high overheads. You got to have, security at all times. Probably even overnight, you may want to have some sort of security. You got to have a lot of staff. And the busier that you get, the more staff that you need. You have to have a back-end staff. You have to have a front-end staff. You're going to need a couple of different managers. Yeah, so with an actual storefront, it can get really expensive quick. And then not to mention the actual lease is going to be pretty expensive, because you're going to need a good sized area to funnel in and out traffic in an efficient, optimal manner. Those leases can get really expensive, and once your landlord knows that when you tell them you're going to be a cannabis dispensary, they're going to make you pay more than what the actual market rate is. So yeah, that, you know, that business gets extremely expensive, and it can seem like you're making a lot of money, but with all the overheads and things of that sort, you're really just running in circles, chasing your tail, and you could be losing money. There's a lot of dispensaries I've heard of went under because they're making a lot of revenue, but they're not making any profit. It's not a smart move. So getting into the cannabis delivery side of things, like I always say, you know, it's only about 50,000. That's all you really need. You could do it with less if you're more strategic. $50,000, that's more than enough money. Second, you don't need a large staff to start. If you do any of those other businesses, it can't just be you. If you're cultivation, you have to have other people that are working with you and alongside you to help, you know, with those grow operations and manufacturing operations and things of that sort. And that's a lot of money for people who are just starting up. You know, I get a lot of emails of people who they want to get into the industry, but they don't really have the capital needed to start in those businesses. So delivery would be the smartest way to just get your foot in the door and understand how the industry works. Because any of these other business operations, you're going to be competing with large players who have lots of money to spend and lots of money to burn. They can afford to burn a harvest, or they can afford for a bad batch of oils. You, on the other hand, unless you have millions of dollars, you can't afford to do that. And they're going to be able to price you out of the market as well, because of the amount of volume they're going to be able to pump out and what they're willing to price themselves at to just gain market share. They're going to be able to beat your prices because if they have millions of dollars, they really don't need to make money. They're going to price their products at a ready to buy price, so they're going to gain traction in the industry, and they're not really focused on making money out of the gate. So, you know, those are just some things to think about and some reasonings why I think getting into the cannabis delivery side of things is going to be your best bet if you just want to get into this industry. And then once you establish yourselves in that and you understand how the industry works, then you can get into other things and vertically integrate your business off of the delivery side of things. Then you can get a distribution, then you can get cultivation, and then, you know, when you have those three things, then you have a vertically integrated business. Your cultivation goes straight to your distribution, who packages everything and can sell to other retailers, and then that distribution you could just sell at cost to your delivery service, and you can price your items at a better rate because you're cutting out the middleman, because that's basically what the distribution business is. That's who they are. They're basically the middleman. Again, message me, email me in my email if you're wanting to do any consultations or any things of that sort. I am creating an ebook because I'm getting a lot of questions on, you know, just how this works. So I feel like instead of replying to every single person, I can just create a compilation of an ebook that just has everything that you need to start your cannabis delivery service, from the start to stabilize to scaling your business. So it's going to be, you know, like a 10-step book that teaches you everything that you need to do in order to run a successful, compliant delivery service. So yeah, this, again, some things to think about. Happy holidays, everybody. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll be back with another video shortly. Appreciate it.